Hi, thank you for joining me for this review of the Skystars TinyFrog 75X Brushless 2 to 3 cell 75mm FPV freestyle and racing drone. So this is a bind and fly version, and you can get this with a DSM receiver or a FlySky receiver or FR FreeSky D16 receiver, which this one has, or you can get plug and play without a receiver. So 75mm is a nice style for a whoop. This plastic is strong, so it should be quite durable. 3 very strong struts and thick, so shouldn't break too easily, which is good. We can see plug and play motors, which is good too. We've got an XT30 plug. Now ideally this is for a 2-cell battery, but it can also take a 3S. And it comes with this 300 mAh 2-cell battery. And I can't really see whether this is a 35C or an 85C, but I hope it's an 85C. With the XT30 plug and quite a long balance plug. This comes with some good components. It comes with a Skystars Coco F405 F4FC with a built-in OSD and gyro. Got UARTs 1, 3 and 6 and supports Betaflight and CleanFlight. Also comes with Coco BL Heli S 4-in-1 15 amp ESCs with an 18 amp burst current and more caps added to reduce power noise. Also has the Skystars 25 milliwatt and 100 milliwatt 5V VTX with smart audio, 5 bands, 40 channels including pit mode, and you can change bands and channels either on the bottom or through PWM using the sticks on your radio controller. The camera is the Cadex Turbo EOS 2, so it's a 1200 TVL camera, 2.1mm with a 16:9 aspect ratio and 160-degree field of view. We've got these Skystars ST1103 11,000 kV motors with these Gemfan 40mm 4-blade props on. But unfortunately these are push on and pull off, but they are certainly held on very fast. And we get 4 spare props with it too. Comes in this nice box, foam padded in Tupperware. And we also get these instructions for binding. Okay. It does say that with the FreeSky D16 it will need Betaflight 3.5 or newer to use the full 16 channels. So we'll see when we connect it to Betaflight which Betaflight version this has. Now the battery, we've got a set size here, and this will fit in here perfectly, but again now this restricts us in terms of the size battery that one can use, so this will probably be better off modded, so with a strap or something to secure various size batteries. Here we can see the receiver, and here's the bind button to press to bind. The micro USB port situated over here, so just have to be a bit careful of these wires here to plug in to this to connect to Betaflight. I'm not sure if this has a buzzer, can't see it without taking the hood off. The FC itself looks as though it's soft mounted, and we've got soft mounting over here. The camera is adjustable by loosening these two screws on either side. And to change bands and channels using a button, I can't really see easy access to this. I'll take off the hood shortly so we can have a look what's under here. I also want to see what we can do with this 5.8 gigahertz antenna, which is not good lying in a flat position like this, and see if it can be changed to point upwards too. But before I do that, let's have a look at the weight. Put the battery on as well. So with the battery, it only comes in at 59 grams. So this is the hood off, just 3 screws that need to be removed on either side and at the back here. And now we can see the F4 flight controller, but it's not easy to see, but I can't see a buzzer connected, and it's not easy to see where a buzzer can be connected. So here's a picture of the flight controller. The VTX, can't really see any button to push to change bands or channels or any LED indicators. It'll be best to rely on using smart audio to change this, or use the CLI in Betaflight. This antenna can be put upwards, but to do that I will just need to drill a hole in the top of the canopy here. You can see the camera is quite securely mounted here, which is good. Let me just go ahead and do that and put the canopy back on. Here's the canopy or hood back on. I've just drilled a hole and I'll put the 5.8 gigahertz antenna out here. You know, maybe they put it under there for more protection, but if this thing lands upside down, you know, not going to damage this too easily. Camera is quite well protected, and it does really look as though it can be quite durable. Now I'll put the battery in under here so it fits in okay, and if I connect up here now, we can see red and green lights, but we still need to go ahead and bind. But now again, because of this set frame for the battery holder, difficult to tuck away this balance lead. I'll either just have to try and use a bit of blue tack or something to keep it on the side and out of the way, or modify it completely and put a strap on, or use rubber bands. Okay, here's it connected up to Betaflight now. So I want to see which version of Betaflight it's got, so I can know whether to choose 8 or 16 channels. So I just type in dump here on the CLI page, and we go to the top, and here we can see it's Betaflight Omnibus F4SD OBSD Betaflight version 3.5.3. So I should be able to bind on FreeSky 16 channels. So when you first enter into Betaflight, it's always good to back up your CLI. If you don't know how to do this, just do a search for backing up CLI and you'll find a lot of information regarding it. And it's also good if you go back to the setup here and also back up the default folder by clicking on backup here before you go ahead and make any changes. So let me just bind before we go through the rest of the Betaflight settings. Okay, I've got my radio controller ready to bind on D16. Put it into the bind section here. And then prepare the battery to connect. And I've actually got to hold down the bind button on here. While I connect power to the battery. Okay, we can see a green light flashing rapidly now saying it's ready to bind. Can release the button. Press bind on the radio controller. Choose channels 9 to 16 telemetry on. Bind. We can see the receiver light now has gone red. Stop the bind process. Disconnect the battery, reconnect the battery, and I've got a solid green light on the receiver, so this is it now bound. So here we connect it back up to Betaflight now. We look at ports. We can see on UART 3 we've got TBS Smart Audio enabled and Serial RX enabled on UART 6. Look at configuration. Obviously we've got Quad X. Then we've got D-Shot 600. We've got motor stop, so don't spin the motors when armed. I'm going to switch that off because I prefer the motors to spin when it's armed. Go down here. Okay, no craft name, so I'm just going to put TinyFrog 75X. We're on serials based receiver S-bus, which is fine and good. We've got telemetry enabled. We've got LED strip enabled, OSD, anti-gravity, dynamic filter. And under beeper configuration, everything enabled. So here we just need to save and reboot. Now we look at power and battery. We've got minimum cell voltage 3.2, maximum 4.3, and warning cell voltage at 3.4. We'll leave it like that. Look at failsafe. Okay, failsafe settings set to drop, which is good, but I'm going to reduce the guard time for activation down to 2. Save and reboot. Let me look at the PIDs now. These are the default PIDs, and I'm going to leave it at the default PIDs and see how it goes. Now if we look at receiver, I've got my radio controller connected, but this is the throttle and it's showing a roll, so I need to change this to TAER 1, 2, 3, 4 and save. Now if I go throttle, I've got throttle. If I go yaw, I've got yaw, pitch and roll. So we've got something happening here on auxiliary 12. So this would mean that RSSI is on auxiliary 12. So if we go here, I'm going to just put the RSSI channel on auxiliary 12 and save here. If we go to the modes, so we haven't got arm, disarm set up, so I'm going to add arm and just flick my switch, my arm switch here, and it says it's auxiliary 2, and just extend this. That's arm, disarm there. Okay, we haven't got horizon, a stable mode set up, so I'm going to add that, and let me just flick my switch on auxiliary 3, but I would like horizon in at the first setting here. Go to beeper, let me just set beeper to auto, and I'm on auxiliary 4 for beeper, which is a 3-way switch, so I can use either of that. Air mode, I go auxiliary 3, and I'll leave air mode there. Then flip over after crash, so for turtle mode. And I don't see acro mode, so I'm going to assume then that air mode is going to be for acro. Put that in there, acro there, and then I'm just going to enable angle mode. And put angle mode here. And save this. Now if we have a look at OSD, we got RSSI value enabled, and it's over here. So I prefer the RSSI up at the top right hand corner. I also prefer the times down here, so put my flight time here. Crosshairs, I don't particularly want crosshairs. Want fly mode. So I'm going to put fly mode in here. See if I can drop this down a bit more. Yes, I can. Put that there. Move fly time to there. I want to put my battery values down here as well. A little bit awkward having it all up there, I think. Craft name, let's put the craft name in as well. For purposes of review. V2X channel, I normally like seeing what the V2X channel is as well. Now I'll put this down over here. Okay, the video format sits on auto, I'll leave it there. I prefer it on metric, so I'll leave it on metric there. All the warnings here are all enabled. Now I'm going to click on save. So that's it, and then it's always good to go back to the CLI, and after you've made your changes, do another backup of your CLI and the file that I mentioned earlier on after doing your changes. Okay, so I've got it connected up to my FPV DVR here, and I've preset it on the CLI to channel D4 or Fat Shark 4. So if we have a look here on band D for 5800 megahertz. Here we can see the telemetry that we set up earlier with the RSSI, craft name, etc. all here, and we can see we're on F4 over here too. Now to get into the OSD menu through smart audio on your radio controller, put the throttle stick in the middle position, pull it left, push up on the right stick, and you will see here now that we've got the menu for the OSD. To navigate through it, you can select the categories by moving this up and down, and to enter into anything, you press the stick to the right. And then you get into the main menu here. You look at profiles, we've got PID profile, PID, miscellaneous, filter, rate, filter, copy, profile, and back. Features, you can go black box, VTX, SA VTX, transmission. I've also changed this to band 25 milliwatts. LED strip of it head, power, and back. You can go into the various OSD features, timers, alarms, inverts, black, white, and back. Miscellaneous just gives us these options here. And exit. So I have noticed that the VTX gets quite warm, so I'm not going to go through it too long while the quad's standing and connected in detail. So now let's go out and see how it performs outdoors. Okay, let's see how this Skystars TinyFrog 75X goes outdoors here. Now I've just used a rubber band to put around the battery to hold this long annoying balance lead in place here. So let's power it up. Okay, got FPV up on the screen, all ready to go. Going to also time it. Okay. Okay. Turns quite sharply. The moment it's got an inkling to go to the left. We'll bring it back here. Punch out. No. Okay, maneuvering well. Might be a little bit difficult to see in this light. I'll keep it as close as I can for now. Okay, nice punch out. A lot of power in the 2-cell battery. But here, so quite a pitch on it. Now if I go on the FPV screen here, the camera's at a good angle. Does turn very quickly, very rapidly. Goes nicely. Motors aren't very loud. Bring it in a little bit closer, you can hear a little hum. Battery, we're on 3.35 volts already now. Been in there about 2.5 minutes. Not a very long flying time off of the battery. 3.4, I'll keep it in the air a little bit longer. Really goes nicely. Okay, now that's battery. I stop the clock. So good flight, just over 3 minutes, goes nicely outdoors, responds very well, got a nice pitch to it, motors sound fine. Now we've seen how it performs outdoors. I'll wrap up this video and I'll post a separate video of this flying on a whoop racing course indoors. So please subscribe, like, comment and share if you like my videos.